Hello and welcome everyone to podcast number.
I don't know, it's been a while. 18!
Is it
I was
18?
right. I said 18.
Okay.
We know this for sure. You just looked it up on the YouTube channel, right?
Unless I skipped one. Well, if it's not 18, it'll be 18.2. Alright, so
We're totally professional, guys.
it's been 2 weeks. It's been a long time since we've done this. And we should probably explain about our absence. Tibble and I took vacation, and we went to California for a week. And we ended up skipping that podcast because crappy hotel internet, and there wasn't anything to talk about anyway. And then we got back on a Tuesday, and so much was going on when we got back, it just didn't work out to sit down and get one out.
The house was on fire. I got eaten by Mishy's cat.
Yeah, things, just details, little details.
I have a birthday.
Yes, Tybalt just had his birthday recently, the 31st of July. Happy birthday, Tybalt.
Danke.
How was your birthday?
Oh, it was great. We invited a bunch of internet people that I had never met before. That was really fun and awkward.
Good time.
It was a lot of fun. And some intense games of Doctor Who Monopoly, I tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad I slept through that part.
So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with us. It's been busy. I think, should we mention that we want to kind of start making this bi-weekly?
Might as well.
Sure.
We've pretty much confirmed that.
Yeah, we're getting to the point. We've got some things planned, and the way that it works out is I think that we're going to do the podcast every other week, unless it becomes like super, super popular and people want it every week. But for right now, since there hasn't really been a lot to talk about, we're going to space it out a little bit. And if there's something really important to talk about, we'll talk about it then.
It's not really swinging both ways, but it's interested in other weeks of both genders. It just wants to try it,
Tibble.
He went for the bi joke.
Went the bye joke. Okay. So, if that's all the news we have, let's go ahead and get into this.
If that's all the news for now, we can get into the news.
Patch notes!
Freaking
3
patch
points,
notes.
10.
Yeah, 3.10. I'm pretty sure season 4 is coming soon, and that's kind of scary to me.
Not really, because they've been talking about like patch 3.12 and shit, and we're not even on patch 3.11. Yeah.
By soon, we mean it's looming in the future, but
Yeah,
that's
months
it's still
away.
a thing.
Season 4 is definitely not coming until like a month or so after the World Finals are done, or
But
done
still,
and
that's-
over with.
That's before the end of the year. Leith, you have got to stop purring to the microphone.
She's trying to put in her input. She is a member of this podcast.
Put in her input.
Yes.
Huh.
All right,
We don't
patch
want her to
notes.
put in her output.
Let's
That would
start
be disgusting.
with the lease. Tell out. Some of the lease changes. They did a bunch of stuff to her spiderlings. They reduced the health. They increased the armor. Increased the magic resist. They now group closer together while moving. That's about it for her spiderlings. Am I right?
They got tired of Elise's spiderlings tanking everything for her, like skill shots and stuff, so they made it so they die quicker, and they're not as good as tanking skill shots for her.
Yeah, and then her volatile spiderling, the movement speed has been reduced, and they made a couple changes to her repel. She can no longer descend outside the indicated area, and her spiderlings will now descend like slightly after she does instead of at the same time. So kind of just
Stuff that should have been implemented at the beginning, but they didn't know if Elise would actually be good in the first place, so they let her slide on a couple of things. And
Now
since
they're going
Elise
through and
is
fixing
actually really good, they're just cleaning a bunch of stuff up.
fixing them. Okay. You wanted to talk about Karthus next, correct?
Yeah, the Karthus thing is weird. They fixed a bug. Can you read that line to me?
Fixed a bug where a cooldown reduction allows Defile to be rapidly toggled, increasing its damage output.
That's not a bug per se. Riot was entirely aware of that, and they let it slide because only really good Karthuses could abuse this. What it was his Defile. You would just rapidly spam the button. Because if you had the right cooldown reduction, enough cooldown reduction that, Karthus builds anyway, rapidly turning Defile on and off got you more damage output than just turning on Defile and leaving it on, because you would get more pulses out of turning it on and off than waiting for like the pulse every second or so.
I knew
So
Karthus was the most button-mashy champion.
yes, because you would mash your Q, you would be throwing out your Ws, you'd be mashing your E. And for a while, this was perfectly okay because Karthus's had a lot of stuff to keep track of. But I guess they're feeling like this is a lot of unnecessary power that Karthus needs, which is entirely legitimate. Karthus dominated the last World Finals, and they haven't really done anything with them since. It was literally the team that had Karthus won the game.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Those are dark times.
Scary times.
So they're just trimming some out the unnecessary stuff.
Is that all they did to him?
Yeah. I'll personally appreciate this because that's one less thing I have to keep track of while playing Karthus.
Alright, so moving on to the next thing. I'd like to save Master Yi for last because he's got a lot of big things with him.
That's fine.
Okay, going on to Rise then. They changed a couple things on him. The cast range on his Overload was reduced a little bit. On his Rune Prison, they reduced both the cast range and mana cost. Cast range reduced on Spell Flux, as well as movement speed was increased on Desperate Power.
Since games have been going on more towards the 40 and 50 minute mark again, Rise and Vayne have become really, really powerful again. And so this is just Rise, losing some of his unnecessary power. People have started banning Rise, demanding Rise nerfs, because when he hits late game dominance, it is late game dominance.
He's
Rise is best mage.
It's true.
been hard to deal with lately. Alright, moving on to Thresh. We did want to talk about Thresh, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we wanted to talk about Thresh.
The cat knocked down my paper, so I'm I'm winging it. All right, they reduced his base health and they reduced his base armor, and I'm not really understanding the change to damnation.
His passive, where he gathers AP and armor through gathering souls, used to be scaling down to a certain point, but I believe it's now a flat amount across the board.
Okay.
It would start at 1. You would get like 1 armor and AP per soul you picked up, and then it would scale down to the point where it really didn't matter to pick up souls anymore. And so a lot of Threshers, myself included, would just stop picking them up. But now it's going to start at 0.75. Yeah, so Thresh's late game are going to be some pretty scary dudes if they've been farming up those souls, which is how it should have been.
They've really been hammering into Thresh's early game. So,
And that's where he was really broken, honestly.
Yeah, so it's understandable.
Thresh late game has a lot of problems. Let's go with this alphabetical. What champion came after Thresh?
I don't know the alphabet, man.
All right, Twisted Fate.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, Twisted Fate.
They remade his passive loaded dice. Now, upon killing a unit, he rolls the dice and he gets anywhere between 1 and 6 bonus gold, and he has a higher chance to receive a larger bonus.
The dice is weighted,
Yeah.
basically.
So that's interesting. And then his pick a card has 8 seconds now to lock a card and 4 seconds to throw it instead of 10 seconds to do both.
Which is nice.
So a couple extra, like 2 extra seconds to do things.
So this is a part of a big sweeping change to get rid of TF, Zillion, and Janna's global passives because they're too much unnecessary power.
It's taking power away from the champion itself to make it invisible and only really abusable, to be perfectly honest, because it was getting to the point where it's like, oh, pick Twisted Fate because we're going to make 10k more gold than the other guys just by farming and not doing anything.
Hey, let's pick Janna because we get 2 free movement quints each. It's that sort of thing. There's no other reason to pick Janna in their minds, and that's
they
the
couldn't
wrong.
buff the characters in other ways to make them more appealing because they had so much invisible power.
They haven't done any changes to Zillion or Janna yet, have they?
No, I was surprised not to see anything Zillion-wise this patch.
But this is the thing that's going to happen. So,
All
moving
right.
on.
Let's backtrack to Master Yi. If it's alright, since I'm under attack by the cat and I really don't know much about it, I'd like to pass that off to Tybalt.
Let's talk about E.
Alright, pretty much APE is on ice for now They took most of the AP out of his stuff except for Meditate, and they really killed the AP ratio on that because they just want ADE to be perfect, and then they're going to reintroduce APE. So if you were an APE player like myself, you deserve a kick in the balls. But if you want to see it back, it will come back, and hopefully in a less, evil fashion.
To be fair, you only did it on ARAM, and it's because you cannot not play APE on ARAM.
If the random gods see it fit to let me win that ARAM game, I do not see why I should, refuse this gift. But now they've reworked all of his abilities to be a lot more attack damage friendly. His Alpha Strike is now a lot easier to track. It's not like random people all around the person you hit. And it can now critically strike, and I believe it applies the true damage from his new E passive. His Meditate, it gave you flat armor and magic resistance, so now it just gives you flat damage reduction. So people who are stacking tons of penetration will do less damage, while everyone else is going to do more damage, so it kind of evens that out. And instead of having massive healing, it heals more the less your health is.
So armor and magic piercing doesn't affect pure damage reduction?
No, it does not.
That's interesting. Never thought about that.
The only thing that would get through that would be true damage. Cat.
Cool.
She moved to you,
Yes.
making her rounds.
I don't see why you have to bring her over here every time we do this.
This is the Leaf podcast.
Okay.
She likes being a part of the podcast, Tibble. Of course I have to bring her over every single time we do this.
True damage. Master Yi's new E passive. It used to be you got 25 free attack damage, and that was the thing to max first if you were ADE in lane, because that would be a smack gob of attack damage at level 3 or something. So you could really bully the other person out of the lane because you have so much free attack damage. But then it got into the later stages of the game where it's okay, 25 attack damage, what's that going to do? Genuinely nothing is what it did. And then you could activate the passive to double your passive attack damage. Now it's 10 to 20% of your AD total as you rank it up, and which is really nice. So it won't be as overpowering in lane, but it will actually scale into late game, which is what Master Yi really needed. And then for his new E active, it will give you bonus true damage on each of your strikes, as well as possibly your Alpha Strike. I'm not sure. Bonus true damage that scales off your AD. And what this really does is it doesn't really help against squishy people. It's really nice, mind you, but this really helps against people like Garen, who, with Master Yi met Garen would win because Master Yi wouldn't do any damage to him whatsoever. And now they've fixed up Highlander. It used to be you activate Highlander, and then if anyone died, all of your stuff got reset. Now Highlander has the permanent passive of if you kill somebody, all your stuff resets. And if you activate Highlander and you're killing people, then it increases the duration of Highlander. And you get a bunch of free attack speed, movement speed, and you can't be slowed down by movement impairing stuff. So I've had the pleasure of playing New Yi. He is fantastic. I can get over the fact that APE will be gone for a while because he's just downright fantastic. This is what I've wanted. I've wanted a melee carry so long that's actually good. Aatrox was almost there, but they finally got it right this time, and Master Yi is brilliant.
So you got a full visual update along with all this, a couple of nice updates to his skins, and then Assassin Yi is, oh my god.
Assassin Yi is his best skin. It's also his cheapest skin. It is his best skin. Get it. It's amazing.
Just saying.
Yay! So, some more insane changes to League of Legends. Let's talk about item changes. There's a new item, Spectre's Cowl. It's made from a ruby crystal and a negatron cloak, and it is 1,400 gold total. It gives you plus 200 gold, plus 45 magic resist, and it has a unique passive that gains plus 15 health regen per 5 seconds for up to 10 seconds after taking damage from an enemy champion.
Did you mean 200 health?
What did I say?
Gold.
Yeah, I meant 200 health. It's one of those days. I keep telling you this. It's one of those days.
So this item is also meant to be built into a couple of new things now, replacing other things. Specifically,
Yeah, Spirit Visage, Banshee's Veil.
yeah, those two.
It
I think
replaces the Negatron cloaks and those things.
Okay.
um continue.
And then we've got some changes to Runic Bulwark and Locket of the Iron Solari.
Changes to Runic Bulwark.
Changes to Runic Bulwark.
It's
being
now invisible.
Terrible. It's now invisible. They took it out of the game. It's gone. It's never existed. I don't even know what are you talking about. I've never heard of this item before. It's not even there. And then they changed Locket of the Iron Solari. It now builds from
It's
Aegis
the new
of the Legion,
Bulwark.
right? Yeah.
Locket is the new Bulwark.
It's the Aegis with the Locket passive, basically. Maybe a little bit stronger.
You have the active effect to give a shield to all your allies, and then you have the aura passive that gives all your allies bonus armor and magic resist.
So it's a pretty cool item now, as opposed to kind of a derpy Locket.
We also got some new pretty pictures for the icons. They've been updating those slowly. There are new pictures for Abyssal Scepter, Catalyst the Protector, Deathfire Grasp, Glacial Shroud, Haunting Guise, Hextech Revolver, Thornmail, and Vampiric Scepter.
I haven't seen any of these actually yet.
I've seen a couple of them, but they always throw me off.
The only one I don't like is Abyssal Scepter. The rest are really nice.
I guess you'll be showing those on screen.
Probably, yeah.
All right.
And then we've got some jungle changes. I, for one, am kind of tired of them changing the jungle, but if it's what's needed, it's what needed. They increased the spawn time on wraiths, wolves, and golems. Now they spawn at 2 minutes and 5 seconds from the original 155. What else is important on here? They reduced the base experience granted on Lizard Elder and Ancient Golem, as well as reduced their health.
And moved it into the little dudes that stand next to them.
Only in the young lizard.
The young lizards are on both of them. The big blue
Fair enough.
golem has 2 little lizard companions.
Fair enough. I just expect there to be little golem guys with the ancient golem.
Yeah, you know?
Right? No, see, you think it would make sense, but whatever. As long
The
as
little
someone else...
golems have their own camp. They don't hang out with the big golem.
Yeah, what is it with that?
What this is mostly
Are they excluded? Are they, like, left out?
is a
They
middle
probably had a fight,
finger
and-
I never even farmed them.
to Nunu.
I'm just part of this.
Are you
Part of the horribleness of the racism of the golems.
Nunu has been banned a lot recently. I suggest still banning Nunu just in case this hasn't worked out. What Nunus have been doing lately, jungle Nunus, mind you, is they would wait for the enemy jungler to be to almost finish taking their blue, and then they would jump out, smite their blue, and then eat the blue, and that would get them level 2 because Golem and Red are now like guaranteed level ups. So they would take that, they would automatically get level 2, and then they would just beat the living crap out of the enemy jungler because they were now level 2, and the enemy jungler was still level 1. And if the enemy jungler came back and was killing the little guys, that wouldn't do anything because the little guys don't give any experience. So they would be really far behind.
What he said.
This was mainly the problem with Nunu, but other people were trying it too, you know, like coming in and getting clever smite steals. Those were a little less annoying because you kind of deserve it. But Nunu, you can't outsmite. It's figuratively impossible.
And they changed Bear Nash a little bit. His ferocious corrosion? Question mark?
The pillar of green spit.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm just wondering if I would say ferocious. Because I just think I'm saying ferocious. That no longer reduces the target's attack damage by 50%, but now reduces the physical and magic damage to the target by 50%.
This is to hit AP junglers like Nunu, so Nunu can't do 15-minute Barons really easily anymore.
Because in case you missed the lecture, Nunu's OP. Just saying. And
I
then
have not been able to play Nunu support because he's banned, because everyone's afraid of freaking Nunu jungle, and I can't play one of my favorite supports, because everyone's like, no, it's Nunu, he has to jungle now.
And then they made some changes to turrets.
I don't care about the turrets, I'm mad about Nunu.
So,
I miss you, Nunu.
So, I'm not even sure what they really did to the turrets. The outer turrets now gain 60 bonus armor at the start of the game. It decays after 4 minutes. The outer turret's base armor has been increased. Outer turrets longer gain armor over the first 8 minutes of the game. And something about a bug, but purple side inner turrets had 10 more armor than intended.
It's to prevent early game pushing nonsense, I imagine.
Which I'm so glad. Did you hear that? I'm so glad.
The problem is like with the dual when they switch lanes, you send like two people, your AD carry and your support top, to kill their top laner. Top laner wouldn't stand a chance. Gank them, 3-man gank them at level 3 with your jungler. They automatically die, and then you can just take the turret, and it's no problem whatsoever. So that
It's
really,
gonna be slightly harder to do that now.
yeah.
And then there's one last thing I believe that I have to talk about today for patch notes. They changed the champion tags. You know, the tags where they were like the AD carry and the mage, and they were always incorrect and you couldn't really use them. Well, they fixed it and they kind of changed it around a little bit. Now there's assassins, fighters, mages, marksmen, supports, and tanks. AD carries have been changed to marksmen, and I do not like that.
It's kind of annoying, but the big thing is here is every champion is one of those, and no weird combination of tags.
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird because I don't think they're gonna phase AD carry out. I think everyone's gonna ignore the marksman except for them.
Marksman is annoying because it implies a specific type of weapon, and there's weird AD carries out there, so...
AD carry Annie! Thresh AD carry. I mean, really? Thresh AD carry is totally legit.
Is that still legit?
That's still legit.
Sweet. But yeah.
And that is all I have for my section this time. Take it away, Tibble!
Hi, I'm Tybalt. I have one thing to talk about because I'm a flake, but it's
Hi,
my
Tybalt.
birthday, so shut up.
Hi, Tibble.
The only thing I have to talk about is this one cool thing that Xenon the Stoic said. I guess if you're still waiting for Lucian like we are and you want some cool Lucian news, Sword of the Divine. If you built it on Lucian, it would be incredibly broken because he would get 100% attack speed during his ult, the culling, and that would like triple the damage output of his ult, and that's fucking awesome. But Xenon the Stoic made it so that doesn't work at all.
Oh.
So that was cool for a minute. AP Lucian's still good though. I played it after they nerfed it on the PvE. That was pretty fun. So, take it away, Hat! If you like trains and you like rails, then we can maybe come to a mutual understanding on this topic. Derailed.
Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp.
Sure. A Hat in Time. No relation.
I can buy it!
You can now purchase this game outside of the Kickstarter.
I can buy it!
As of the moment, you can pay $20, and this gets you the game upon release. It's a straight-up pre-order. Or
You could pay $70 for overachievers.
$70 will get you 2 copies of the game and a soundtrack and alpha and beta access.
Which
So-
I really, 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 really want. So some nice person who's watched this far into the podcast should comment in the comment section and be like, wow, I think you guys should really do a Hat in Time. So Tybalt and Hat can't be mad at me for spending $70 on it.
The only person who's watched this far into the podcast is Aros, and that's because he doesn't have a life. No offense.
And our friends. But they
Did
should
they-
comment too. It doesn't matter who you are, even if we know you or don't know you. I will take you into full seriousness and go buy the game. All you have to do is comment. You have a power over me spending $70 of my hard-earned money by commenting. Do what you will.
Missy just promised to spend $70 for her own money, so just want to put that out.
Hey, I thought you were gonna chip in. It's okay. I stole some of Tybalt's birthday money, but he doesn't know that.
Oh,
Wait, what?
okay. Nothing. So this is really cool. People who didn't get a chance to participate in the Kickstarter have been wanting this, so now you can finally guarantee get the game.
It looks so cool, and I really want it. And
It does.
we're gonna do the cool. Can we promise something that we shouldn't promise because it's far away, but I really want to talk about?
Sure.
We want to do the multiplayer where it's a Hat in Time, but it's got the 2 T's and the Y instead of the I, and it would be cute.
Yes, we will attempt to do the multiplayer.
What will probably happen is I'll probably do single player and derp through it, and then our lovely Hat and Tie, who have similar names as a Hat and Time, will do their own thingy bob with it. Professionalism, right there.
This depends on what the multiplayer is. We don't know anything about the game yet,
Fair
really,
enough. Fair
but
enough.
we will try. So this is really cool. $70 kind of sounds a lot when you at a glance, but it's $40 for 2 copies of the game, and we'll say $10 for the soundtrack. So you're basically just paying an extra 20 just to get in on like the early versions, which it seems pretty cool to me.
And to be honest, even if like we're doing it because we want to play the game and also because we have an outlet for it, we're doing it on YouTube. But I think I'd want to buy it anyway, even if we couldn't.
I want to support them.
Yeah, and I really want to play the game. It looks so awesome, and I'm really curious to see what's gonna go, how it's gonna go. I haven't played a video game like this in a while. I kind of played a couple of these games in my childhood, but I wasn't really allowed to play video games that much, so I never got to experience a full game like this. And I'm really excited. I really want to try this instead of playing all the old games I own. I want to play a new one.
So yeah, we'll get to support them through money and through hopefully some sort of publicity. But yes, was there anything else we wanted to talk about before my thing? I don't think there was anything else.
Skyrim thing?
Oh yeah, Skyrim. So right before this podcast, I was looking around, and oh my gosh! Suddenly, it was announced Skyrim the Elder Scrolls Anthology. And what this is a complete set from Arena to Skyrim, all 5 games, all the major DLC. This includes basically the Skyrim Legendary Edition and the Oblivion Gold Edition, and both
the 2 first Elder Scroll games, and then the 3 good ones.
Ouch. And Morrowind had its 2 DLC, and it comes in a nice little box, fancy like collector's style thing, and with 5 maps, 1 for each game. And from the information I saw, it was said that it will be available on September 10th, and it will be $80. So if you think about it, Skyrim Legendary Edition at this moment is $60. I hope I don't have to say anything more about how good this is.
It would be $20 for just like Oblivion or Morrowind, not even both.
Yeah.
Not counting the DLCs.
Plus
Actually, I think
fancy-
that's counting the DLCs for Morrowind.
Yeah, I think so. They're about $20 each for the gold editions. But yes, that's a crazy deal. And maps are cool.
Legit
So-
actual maps, like they came out with Skyrim.
So that is awesome.
I lost my Morrowind map so long ago, and it warms my heart that I might have it back.
This is only available for PC, obviously, because Arena and Daggerfall and all that and stuff. I don't know if it'll be Steam activated for the ones that matter, or like the 3, but we'll see. That's really cool. So the last thing I really wanted to talk about is I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the 3DS upon the internet's recommendation, apparently, at this amazing series.
And let's be fair, I haven't talked to him in a week.
Yeah, I've kind of been playing. Between that and Animal Crossing, yeah. I don't even know how to describe this game. It's very interesting. I don't want to spoil any of the plot stuff, so I guess I'll talk mostly about mechanics. If you know what Persona is, this game is basically Persona without the extreme story focus. It seems to be a lot more focused on the combat. And the combat is from technically a first-person view. I think it's Dragon Quest style, where you see the creatures in front of you and you see the attack animations and stuff. It's an RPG, obviously. Outside of battle, it's like a 3D over-the-shoulder sort of exploring thing. And it's really cool so far. It's the characters, you get your own character, and it's far more customizable than something like Persona. And instead of the personas you obtain from winning fights and fusing them and stuff, you're fighting demons, and you have to recruit these demons because you're on your own. Your only party members are demons you find and or fuse together to form new demons. So you have to negotiate with demons, and if you trying to understand demon logic is some of the most mind-twisting thing. The way it works is you have to start a conversation with them, and they ask you questions and demand money and items and stuff from you. And you have to figure out, sometimes they'll get really angry at you for something that sounds sensible and attack you. You lose your turn for this. And other times, weirdest things actually turned out to be the correct quote unquote answer to get them to like you. And of course, you can end up giving them like 1,000 of your money, which is a lot early on, and they just take off and leave. So demons are dicks. But if you
Demons are like genies if genies just were hell-bent on killing you.
see, not all the demons are like that. Some are a bit more reasonable than others and stuff. Like they're not all savages, you know. So if that makes any sense. But yeah, you fight these demons, you get them for your party, you have this whole fusion system. If you know Persona, you understand this. You're passing on your skills. You learn your own spells and skills from these demons leveling up. They teach you. So you can that's how you learn what kind of class you want to be. And the style is brilliant. I've gotten somewhat into the story, and it's very interesting where it went. I don't want to talk about it. You should really experience this if you're into this sort of game. And yeah, the internet was right. This game is amazing. The 3DS is an amazing system. It's getting all these cool games.
I'm so glad Nintendo. Like, I'm kind of upset with Nintendo for various reasons, but they finally doing something to actually sell systems.
The 3DS was shaky for a bit at the start, a couple of decent games.
And then after 2 years, they released Animal Crossing, and everything was well in the world.
And
Not
Smash
just-
Brothers is coming along as well.
And not just Animal Crossing, like we've gotten tons of stuff. Luigi's Mansion 2, and of course I can't think of any of the games, but there's some brilliant stuff so far. Fire Emblem, that was a great system seller. 3DS is shaping up. If only the Wii U could catch up. Cough, cough. But yes, that was my rant. The game is awesome. If you like RPGs, and especially if you know what Persona is, and of course if you're already a fan of Shin Megami Tensei. I'm new to the series, and that's saying something if I can jump into a series and like immediately be absorbed by it. But yeah, go play that game. Go buy a 3DS. They're great.
Get Animal Crossing. Open your town. I need to sell more fruit.
Yeah. Okay, let's be fair here. Perfect fruit and selling another person's town pays off your debt for years. It pays off debt you don't even have yet.
Speaking of Animal Crossing, if anyone's actually like interested, I guess we could throw our Dreamtown codes up somewhere eventually.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if
Thing.
anyone's interested, say something in the comments.
We have comics now.
We do.
I wish.
That would be cool.
Like
Yes.
instead of comment section, you just do a picture to explain what you wanted to say. We should do that. We should mod YouTube, and then we'd have the coolest YouTube channel ever, where people just do derpy drawings that express what they want to. Do you know
Because that's
how many?
YouTube works.
Do you know how many penises would show up daily?
All, everyone.
I would be insulted if they didn't.
So yes, if you're interested in any of our Animal Crossing antics, I guess we can work something out with
Or
that.
drawing penises in comments. You know, either of the one.
You can do that. I will refuse to look at the comics anymore, so that's on you. And I'm done ranting.
I forgot to mention Bear Cavalry Soldierwani.
Oh.
Is that out? Is that
That's
out?
out. It's out.
Okay. It looks
shoot.
fantastic. Instead of ice, it's explosions. And, explosions. And I'm kind of
She has a
torn-
landmine for a flail, just for make sure people realize how awesome this is.
I'm so torn because I love ice and I love the ice aesthetics, but I mean, I don't know what I love more, explosions or ice.
I can't believe we forgot about that. Well, we're saving the best for last. So.
Yeah, totally planned, professionalism type thing, that thing. As a cat eat my face off.
This skin is $9.75 for a limited time. It's going to jump up to the $13.50.
And it's
tier.
only like 4 days.
So
By the time
grab
this
it.
podcast will be up, it's probably already done.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Because
many
it's
days
been out
ago.
for a couple of days already.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, I'm getting
Well-
into League now to buy it then. No,
So-
patch.
So yeah. And does that wrap up this podcast?
I think
Yes.
it does. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the delay and the cat eating my hand. You are really nibbly today. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you either next week or the week after that, depending on our news load.
Good day, sirs and sirsets.
Goodbye.
HTM out.
Out! Bye, YouTube.
Oh my god, she keeps touching me and like biting at me, and I'm in so much pain because I'm just getting attacked. Any other time, she's like, "No, I don't care about my mommy," and now she's like, "Oh, mom's doing something. I'm gonna eat her."
Is she?
Are we still recording? Is
Yes,
this the podcast
yes.
now? Awesome.